Well, welcome to the Aviation Business Podcast. And over the last few weeks, we've been getting ready to celebrate our 3-year anniversary of the podcast by revisiting some of the key episodes in our first 3 years and kind of revisiting them because they are important concepts. And we also looked at which episodes have been listened to the most, and some of those things played into what we're playing over the next few weeks leading up to our 3-year anniversary, and some changes and things we're going to do new heading into our 4th year on this podcast. So with that, we are revisiting episode 88 today. So you can go back and listen to that if you want, but it's going to sound better today as we look at how to exceed customer expectations. And really, as we continue to talk about mindset, having a mindset of exceeding customer expectations is important. And in episode 88, we looked at how Disney does that and some just important mindset thoughts about exceeding customer expectations. So with that, let's head back to episode 88.
Every day, companies provide products and services while hoping to earn more customers. And regardless of how good your salespeople are, one of the biggest factors in a company's overall success is its ability to satisfy their customers with their products and or services. Now, 99.9% of companies have competition in some form. So in order to grow, companies must at least meet customer expectations or they will likely lose business to the competition. So many companies today are simply meeting customers' expectations, if that. And the companies that are having the greatest success continually exceed their customer expectations. A key quote to this series is from Ron Kaufman, who's an author, consultant, and speaker about customer service. And he says, exceeding expectations is where satisfaction ends and loyalty begins. Exceeding expectations is where satisfaction ends and loyalty begins. Now, Skip LaFauve, who's the former CEO of Saturn, said, "You must do things so astonishingly well that customers become not mere loyalists, but outright apostles." And apostles are people who go out and share the news about how great your company's product or service is. They are your best source of sales. So, how do you exceed customer expectations? Disney is a company that is known for exceeding their customers' expectations, certainly in their theme parks. A key component to Walt Disney's strategy to exceeding expectations is called plussing, which is a term that was coined by Walt Disney himself. So shortly after Walt Disney opened his theme park, he decided to put on a Christmas parade. And when Disney, the company, totaled up the expenses to put on the parade, they discovered that his idea, his vision, would cost the park around $350,000. And again, this was more than 50 years ago. So Disney's accountants fought him not to spend the money, arguing that people would already be at the park and that no one would complain if there wasn't a parade because no one was expecting it. And Walt Disney's response was the key. We should do it precisely because no one's expecting it. Our goal at Disneyland is to always give people more than they expect. As long as we keep surprising them, they'll keep coming back. But if they ever stop coming, it'll cost us 10 times that much to get them back. So Disney was intentional and strategic in taking their basic customer expectations and plussing it. So what does plussing look like for your business? Is it some sort of special white glove service? Is it mints with the bill? Is it a special certificate or ceremony when a pilot gets a new rating? Is it an additional feature for your product? Is there a personal touch for each customer? Exceeding expectations requires time and intention to find ways to go above and beyond in your business. Richard Branson said this, "The key is to set realistic customer expectations and then not just meet them, but to exceed them, preferably in unexpected and helpful ways." Again, Ron Kaufman says, exceeding expectations is where satisfaction ends and loyalty begins. And loyal customers refer their friends to your business, and they're evangelists for your product and or service.
So take your business to a higher altitude by having that mindset and that goal of exceeding customer expectations, of plussing your customer experience. Well, here's your aviation fun fact for the day, and we're going to go back to May 26th of 1920, where we saw the first flight of the Boeing GA-1. So according to Wikipedia, the Boeing GA-1, the company designation Model 10, was an armored triplane. This is one you're going to have to Google again. Designed in 1919, it was powered by a pair of modified Liberty engines driving pusher propellers. So on the back. The first of the engineering division's heavily armored GAX series, so ground attacks and experimental aircraft, the ponderous airplane was intended to strafe ground troops while remaining immune to attack from the ground as well as from other enemy aircraft. It was so well armored that its 5-ton weight proved excessive. I'm sure you can imagine. Again, this will be a fun one to look up. Until next time, keep your wheels up and your attitude high.
Thanks for listening to the Aviation Business Podcast. If you found this episode of value, please share with someone who could benefit from its content. You can stay up to date by subscribing in iTunes or your podcast player of choice. This episode is brought to you by Aris Insurance Solutions, your flight plan for navigating the turbulence in aviation insurance. To find out more, go to arisinsurance.com. That's AERIS insurance.com.